Katy Perry's $15 million mansion legal battle. Imagine buying your dream home for $15 million, only to discover that the seller claims he never really wanted to sell it. That's exactly the drama global superstar Katy Perry is facing. From courtroom battles to shocking claims of manipulation, her dream mansion turned into a legal nightmare. And with headlines capturing every twist, this isn't just a real estate story, it's a Hollywood scandal filled with money, power, and moral questions. In video, we explore Katy Perry's $15 million mansion legal battle. 1. The Dream Home Hunt. Katy Perry, one of the world's most recognizable pop stars, and her fiancé, actor Orlando Bloom, were on the hunt for their perfect family home in Los Angeles. After years of performing, recording, and building her brand, Katy wanted a private sanctuary where she could raise her daughter Daisy Dove, away from the flashing cameras. In 2020, they came across a luxurious estate in Montecito, California. Known for its celebrity residence and breathtaking ocean views, Montecito was already home to stars like Oprah Winfrey, Meghan Markle, and Prince Harry. For Perry and Bloom, it seemed like the perfect place to build their family life. The mansion they chose wasn't just any house. It was a sprawling $15 million estate, complete with luxury amenities, grand architecture, and the kind of privacy Hollywood stars crave. Everything looked set for a smooth purchase. But little did they know, the deal would spiral into one of the most talked about celebrity real estate disputes in years. 2. The seller, Carl Westcott's story. The seller of the mansion was an 84-year-old Texas businessman named Carl Westcott. He had purchased the home only a few months earlier, reportedly planning to make it his retirement residence. But soon after moving in, Westcott faced serious health challenges. According to reports, Westcott underwent a major surgery around the time of the sale. He was allegedly under heavy medication and dealing with intense physical and mental strain. His family later claimed that in such a fragile state, he wasn't capable of making sound financial decisions. So when Katy Perry's team approached with an offer, Westcott signed the papers. But afterward, he and his family insisted he had been in no condition to sell such a valuable property and that he never truly wanted to part with it. 3. The controversial contract. The contract Westcott signed with Perry's representatives was legally binding. Katy's side argued that everything was done by the book. No one was forced, and the seller willingly agreed to the terms. But Westcott's legal team claimed otherwise. They argued that he was not of sound mind during the transaction. Under California law, contracts can sometimes be voided if one party is proven to lack the mental capacity to make informed decisions. This raised a powerful question. Was Westcott's agreement a fair deal, or was it exploitation of an elderly man in a vulnerable state? 4. Katy Perry's side of the story. From Katy Perry's perspective, the purchase was perfectly legitimate. She and Orlando Bloom had been searching for a long-term residence, and this mansion was everything they wanted. Her team insisted that Westcott was fully capable when he signed. They pointed out that he had made other financial and business decisions during the same period, which would not have been possible if he were mentally incompetent. Perry's lawyers emphasized a key fact. Regret doesn't cancel contracts. If Westcott simply changed his mind after the sale, that wasn't grounds to undo the agreement. To them, this was a straightforward transaction that turned messy only because of seller's remorse. 5. The courtroom drama. The dispute escalated to court, and this is where the story became even more gripping. Westcott, due to his advanced age and health complications, could not physically appear in court. His lawyers represented him, painting a picture of an elderly man taken advantage of by a powerful celebrity. They argued that Perry, with her wealth, fame, and resources, had unfairly benefited from a transaction that should never have happened. Emotional testimonies, medical reports, and contractual details were brought forward. Meanwhile, Katy Perry's team strongly defended her, insisting that she had acted in good faith. For her, this wasn't about greed, it was about standing by a fair and legal deal. Inside the courtroom, the tension was undeniable. Journalists, fans, and legal experts followed every update, turning what could have been a quiet property dispute into a full-blown media storm. 6. Fans and public reactions. The case immediately sparked public debate. On one side, critics accused Katy Perry of being insensitive. They argued that, as a wealthy pop star, she could easily walk away and find another home. To them, fighting an elderly man in court for a mansion seemed heartless. On the other side, Perry's defenders emphasized that contracts matter. If the roles were reversed and she had backed out of a deal, she would have been criticized just as harshly. Why should she lose her rights to a house she legally purchased? Social media lit up with arguments, memes, and hashtags. The case wasn't just about real estate anymore. It had become a cultural conversation about morality, fairness, and celebrity responsibility. 7. The judge's verdict. After years of legal back and forth, the case finally reached a conclusion in 2023. The judge ruled in favor of Katy Perry. The court found that there wasn't enough evidence to prove Westcott lacked mental capacity at the time of signing. That meant the contract stood, and Perry legally owned the mansion. It was a huge legal victory for her, but it left Westcott's family heartbroken. For them, it wasn't just about money, it was about protecting a loved one they believed had been wronged. 8. The human cost. Beyond the headlines, the case had a deep emotional toll. For Katy Perry, the dispute meant years of stress during what should have been a joyful chapter of her life. She was raising her daughter, balancing her Las Vegas residency, and preparing for future projects, all while being dragged into a lawsuit that questioned her character. For Carl Westcott, the fight took a heavy toll on his health. His family said the stress worsened his condition and left them feeling powerless. To them, the ruling represented a system that failed to protect the elderly. 9. The bigger questions raised. This legal battle may be over, but the debates it sparked are still alive. Should celebrities with their wealth and influence walk away from deals that raise ethical concerns, even if they're legally valid? How should courts handle cases where elderly people claim they were pressured into financial agreements? Where is the line between buyer's remorse and genuine incapacity? These are difficult questions, and while the judge made a legal decision, the moral debate is far from settled. Conclusion. Katy Perry's $15 million mansion legal battle wasn't just a fight over property. It was a clash of law, morality, and public perception. She may have won the case, but the emotional scars on both sides remain. The story serves as a reminder that even in the glamorous world of Hollywood, life isn't always fairy tales and happy endings. Sometimes the biggest dramas unfold not on stage, but in courtrooms and contracts. And when money, health, and fame collide, the truth becomes more complicated than any headline can capture. Don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe.